as the group prepared for an impossible mission, the air grew heavy with magic and dread. A potent sleep incense floated through the room, angel herb, a plant known for knocking out even seasoned adventurers, while Asfi's anti-insomnia flute hummed softly, sealing everyone in an artificial calm. Bell quickly drifted off to sleep, unaware of how desperately the others were watching him. Hayden, irritated as always, grumbled that the boy made more noise awake than asleep, but his impatience hid a simple fact: Bell wasn't ready to hear what had happened. Leon and Nina arrived soon after, bringing grim news. Even with special facilities for rest and purification, no preparation was sufficient for the revelation that followed. Even the mighty Einherjar, legendary warriors of the Freya Familia, had died on their last joint expedition. The atmosphere sank. Hestia, Ryu, and Seer exchanged silent glances. They all knew the weight on Bell's shoulders. 3 members who fought alongside him, teaching him in the battles of Folkvanger, were now dead. Welf murmured that he had loved it before telling the truth had been, unfortunately, the only human decision. While Lilla Ruka tried to comprehend the impossible, the big picture finally took shape. The Loki Familia, Orario's elite force, Finn, Aze, Gareth, Riveria, and so many others, had been defeated and trapped on the 60th floor. Even with reinforcements from giants like Tsubaki and Amid, no one returned. The truth was brutal. If even they had fallen, any attempt at individual rescue would result in total destruction. This silent horror lingered among everyone as Seer revealed the detail that explained the precise knowledge. Loki had received an Oculus crystal, and the entire combat was transmitted up to the moment the crystal shattered in the midst of battle. The atmosphere in Orario changes completely when Hayden's order is confirmed. There would be no isolated teams, nor small expeditions. The entire city would be mobilized for war. The mere idea of uniting every adventurer, every family, and every drop of strength in the capital sent a chill down Nina's spine. The 60th floor was an unreachable hell for almost everyone, but Hayden spoke with the coldness of someone ordering moves on a chessboard. For him, hesitation was not an option. It was time to transform all of Orario into an army. Meanwhile, far away, the hostess of Fertility Tavern was collapsing into chaos. Hythe, the most respected elven healer of the Freya Familia, faced the mobilization plan and practically collapsed. Half-dressed, laughing as if she had lost her sanity, she staggered between exhaustion and the certainty that this operation would crush her. Her subordinates tried to cover her while she deliriously talked about being buried under Freya's or Seer's bed, and it was impossible to know if she was joking or just breaking down completely. Even so, after grumbling about the sadistic quad corn that had probably demanded the impossible of her, Hythe took a deep breath. In the end, she knew she couldn't back down. This wasn't a divine calling, it was a warrior's duty. With the sword and shield cards in hand, she finally accepted that she was about to participate in the greatest battle Orario had ever faced. The commotion in the dungeon spread like an echo impossible to silence. While Hayden made ruthless calculations and the Orario elite accepted that the rescue would be a suicidal operation, another battle was taking place far from the dungeons, the mental war of those who needed to obey. Hythe, exhausted after a brutal day of work at the tavern, received the official strategic order, and the elf almost collapsed. The mere reading of the directive, which required her and her subordinates to act to the point of absolute exhaustion, destroyed any remaining sanity. Her empty laughter echoed like that of someone who had already accepted death. The healers tried to calm her, but not even the idea of being buried at the foot of Freya's bed, or worse, Seer's, seemed too absurd for her state. The subordinates tried to dress their disoriented superior while she alternated between laughing and cursing Hayden, calling him a sadistic quadricorn. Deep down, however, Hythe understood the cruel truth. This was not a war for divine devotion, but a confrontation from which adventurers could not escape. There was nowhere to run. The orders in her hands, sword and shield, symbolized exactly that. Even broken, even revolted, she knew she would have to fulfill her role, for all of Orario was marching toward a war where the chances were almost non-existent. Meanwhile, the determination of each familia began to shape a gigantic movement. There was no room for hesitation. There was no rest, no escape, no time to mourn the dead. The dungeon demanded sacrifices, and everyone was being called upon to pay the price. The weight of this summons hung like a cloak over every person aware of the situation, and even those who did not want to fight would be swept up in the relentless current of events. The entire city was about to move, and no heart would remain light in this march.